Thank you for joining us for the GLP-1 Real Talk Live. We are your weight loss collective, and we're just here to share our real stories about weight loss, taking the GLP-1s. I'm taking Zepbound, Gemini Diva,
Ozempic, and then Mounjaro.
and Pammy. What are you taking?
Mounjaro the whole time.
Okay, and let's just get right to the meat of the matter. Our topic for today is your GLP-1 weight loss journey, was it worth it? I'm going to start with you, Pam, because you have lost a significant amount of weight by all accounts. I mean, you started your weight loss journey over 300 pounds. Your story behind your motivation behind your grandson saying that he wanted you to be with him. That is so compelling. And then now you've lost a backstreet boy, a grown man in weight, well over 100 pounds, and you can give us all the details. And then now, as I watch your content on your channel, I hear your pain as you talk about how people outside of YouTube, folks on YouTube, still seem to have a problem with your weight.
Yes.
So, with all of that being said, Pam, was your GLP-1 weight loss journey, was it all worth it?
Yeah. Thank you, KendyK. To answer that 100%, you know, I kind of dealt with a very similar situation whenever I had gastric bypass 26 years ago, even, people worrying about, well, don't do that because I know a person who died, and and they think it's so drastic. Why are you going to go through this drastic surgery? And I'm like, and I just would kind of come back with, I either do the surgery and I risk that fact, or I'm going to die anyway because I'm over 300 pounds and I'm having a lot of issues, health issues. So now with GLP-1, the funny thing is, when you're 313 pounds, it takes a long time before people really notice that you've lost weight. I think it took 60 pounds before I started getting a couple of like, hey, you look different kind of comments.
Mhm.
And so it is all worth it because I have so much more energy now. I used to not be able to walk more than like 10 or 15 minutes without being in pain and having and out of breath. Like I had to use an inhaler. Um, and I thought I had a full on asthma, but now I haven't used an inhaler in a couple years. I had pain in my knees. I couldn't walk upstairs. I had to like pull on the stairs to even get up like maybe two steps.
Wow.
And I love going to Disneyland. I have my Winnie the Pooh shirt on today,
I love it.
and I was having a hard time as going, walking around the park because they weren't doing like the train anymore for a while after COVID. So I think they just started back on that, going for the parking lot. So um, yes, it's worth it. Um, my whole fire, the thing that lit the fire for me and my why was the day that my grandson, who was 15, a freshman in high school, diagnosed with leukemia. And I was staying with him at Christmas time, and having a hard time getting up from the bed to help him hold his IV to go to the bathroom. And we had this talk, and he said, Grandma, I'm really worried about you. I'm worried about your health. And if I'm going to get through this, I need you to be here with me. I need you to live. Yeah, that's all it takes. Your grandbabies and your babies,
Mhm.
they see you, and it's just like, wow, and it floored me. It just like triggered, and and then plus it came up because his doctor said, oh, you should be walking too. And that's whenever the conversation came up. And he's been my biggest cheerleader, and he's like, oh, he's been so proud of me. And I started with walking around his hospital, walking outside the hospital, and eating low carb. And I did that for like 8 months, lost 45 pounds, and then found out I needed Mounjaro because my A1C was still high. So yeah, so that's how it all began. And no matter all the negative comments moments, it is still worth it, and I'll do it all over again.
You sound pretty determined with that answer, and thank
Right.
you. Welcome to the panel, and thank you for being here. Gemini Diva, you have a very unique story about your weight loss journey as well. You started on
Ozempic.
and spent over a year on Ozempic as a type 2 diabetic.
Yes.
And now, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. And now you are taking Mounjaro.
Yes.
And you are losing more weight, but yours is a slightly different situation because of your type 2 diabetes. And to have taken the Ozempic for a little bit over a year and not lost a significant amount of weight, to the point that your doctor and you had conversations and decided to move you over to the Mounjaro, which is the same medication, GLP-1, that Pammy is taking. Is it still worth it for you?
It is, but again, it's not. I originally started taking the GLP-1 to regulate my insulin. I figured that my insulin was too high, going the wrong way. Instead of going down, it was going up. So I took the GLP-1 to bring that down. And I was like, okay, we're going to start off with Ozempic. That's the first thing that my doctor prescribed. Because at the time, my insurance did not do the others.
Mm-hmm.
So we went there, and I was losing maybe 1 or 2 pounds a week, nothing significant.
Mm-hmm.
And then I happened to go to the doctor at the beginning of January, and my doctor was like, you can be losing more than just 1 to 2 pounds a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why don't we try, Mounjaro, since your insurance will cover Mounjaro? I was like, okay. And since then, I've been at a stalemate on it, but everybody else can see it. I just can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And the scale just don't see it, but everybody else can see that I'm losing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, because we are different people.
Yes.
And even if you're taking the same medication as someone else, we have different journeys.
Right.
My journey using a GLP-1 is just beginning. I am on week 12 on my Zepbound weight loss journey. And when I say week 12, I just took my week 12 injection. And friends, so this is just a little over 2 months with me being on medication, GLP-1 medication, for medically guided weight loss. And in these 12 weeks, y'all, in all transparency, I have only had 9 injections out of the 12 weeks. Last week, we talked about the ups and the downs, the ebbs and the flows on your weight loss journey. Weight loss, even on a GLP-1, is not easy. No. But in week 12, and I haven't yet weighed in week 12, but I'm 21 pounds down. And I absolutely, without any hesitation, I would absolutely take this journey again. That I know for sure, because I feel better. My blood pressure is normal. It is in a average blood pressure range, even better than 120/80. You know, I'm just super pleased, and I was just pleased during my last visit with my doctor just last week. She was so pleased with my weight loss, and I knew it was, I'm losing weight. I'm feeling better. My blood pressure is better. Those were kind of the markers for me. And has it been easy? No, it has not. But I would still choose the GLP-1. I really would. I would
Right.
still choose the GLP-1. I want to throw it back to Pam because Pam, you talked about at your highest weight being over 300 pounds. You've also talked about having had the gastric bypass surgery and then regaining that weight. Were you ever concerned now that you have lost the majority or all of the weight? You clarify for us. Have you lost all the weight that you want to lose? And then now you're in what they say in GLP language as maintenance. Describe a little bit about what that is in case someone is new to the GLP-1 weight loss system and just where you are at this point.
Sure. So I would say I started maintenance in December 2024. And I've been in maintenance for 1 year and 6 months now. And so really maintenance started like in November. So it's either, yeah, so a year and a half. And can you guys hear me okay? Just want to make sure it
Yes.
wasn't staticky or anything. Yeah, okay. And so I had gotten down to like 143 in the beginning of December of 2024. And then I felt like, I think because when you first lose weight, that's when you see the most dramatic effect, and like you really see more of like, the fat leaving your face. And I'll tell you, the same thing happened to me whenever I had gastric bypass. I got very thin on top. I kind of looked, I just looked very bony on top, but at my bottom didn't get, it doesn't catch up as fast. So I'm always bigger on the bottom. So that was kind of something that I couldn't really control. To get below 165, that's whenever, hi, Barb. I was get distracted seeing Barb there. Seeing that I needed to come down further because I was still considered overweight and maybe even obese at 165. But,
Wait a minute.
once I
Wait a
got
minute.
below that, oh, wait. Yes.
Did you just say at 165 you're still considered obese?
I'm trying to remember the indicators. I'm 5'4". Maybe 165 is still considered overweight because currently I'm at 148 to 150. I'll go up and down every week a couple pounds because it depends on my shot day, and I am considered overweight right now. Yeah, so maybe
Wow.
165 could still be the upper part of overweight. Yeah. So yeah, I forget. I have to look at the BMI chart again. But in order for me to be considered healthy and not overweight, I need to be 143 or 144, and that is at the very high cusp. Like you're just barely entering the healthy weight.
Right.
And I'm telling you, when I get down to like 143, like even just a couple pounds, that's whenever I start noticing I get more comments like, "You're too thin, you're wasting away, girl, stop. You need to stop those GLP-1s. You're a shadow of what you used to be." And this is a year and a half, and they seem to think that I'm still losing weight, but I'm in maintenance. I'm not trying to go down. I'm just trying to maintain. And I think most of us in maintenance kind of try to maintain a certain amount of pounds. You can either do a 5-pound range, and some people do a 10-pound range. Now, if I gain more than 5 pounds, it better be like for travel. I've traveled, or I just had surgery or something. Because to me, like 5.
We may have run into a dead zone there.
Right.
We'll come back to you, Pammy, and we'll let you chime back in and finish that. I want to head over to Gemini Diva, Trina. Trina, tell us your health struggles were the primary reason that your doctor said we've got to do something.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Like Pam said, I'm 5 foot, and my ideal weight is 120. There's no way I'm 120. There's no way I can be 120.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed that I had an enlarged heart. They said that my heart had been enlarged when I was a kid. Never knew it, And then,
is that something that ran in your family, a history of heart disease?
No.
Wow.
No one in my immediate family has what I have. Stroke well, let me take that back. Congestive heart failure at 35, stroke at 37, diabetic at 36. I mean, I'll be 47 next week.
Wow. You look like you might be approaching 30. You've got
everybody says that I look younger than what I am, but I embrace my age.
Clearly, it's working for you.
I love my age. I'm not changing for anybody,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll tell the truth. So, and my doctors have been, I have 5, maybe 6 doctors at one time.
Yeah.
And so they all have to collab on everything. So it's not just one doctor telling me I gotta lose weight. No, it's every last single one of them has told me I have to lose the weight. One can move forward without the other. So,
right.
If you got 5 doctors with doctor degrees telling you, we got to do something, you listen.
Absolutely.
That is my second opinion.
Yes. Second and third. Yeah. You got a cardiologist. Congestive heart failure at the age in your early 30s. Wow.
Yes,
and then
I got a cardiologist, endocrinologist, a pulmonary doctor, my primary care doctor, my gastroenteritis doctor. They all have to work together. And that's what they came up with was, okay, we got to do something.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm so glad that your family is so supportive of you, Gemini Diva, and that they are seeing the difference in your body, that the weight is coming off.
Right.
And so we have a question, Metabolic Midwife and others in the comments are asking, can they ask you additional questions?
They sure can. Go ahead.
Yeah, so put them in the chat and we'll leave it up to Trina, to Pam, and to myself. Please, that is what our GLP-1 weight loss panel is for us to ask questions, for us to talk to you, the real talk about weight loss. Right. With that being said, let me give our disclaimer here now. We are not medical providers, and this should not be considered a medical device. What we are real people who have decided to take real control of our weight so that we can live a better life, 2026 and beyond. You've got Pam, who's taken Mounjaro and has been in maintenance. Pam, I did not realize that you had been in maintenance going on 2 years, over a year already on
Right.
maintenance. Congratulations. Congratulations. I am
Thank
so
you. Thank you.
proud of you. Yeah.
Thank
Pam,
you.
I
I'm
don't know
sorry
where
my
you
phone
want to
was muted.
start. You two have so many questions coming through in the chat. So I don't know where you want to start, but I'll continue to put up comments. And folks want to know why I've missed shots, but let's go back to Pam. And Pam, if you can recall where you left off, and just share whatever you want to share about this journey, especially as you're in maintenance, and how people receive you, because we're women of a particular age, so folks know us in life, right? Our coworkers know us,
Right.
our family, our friends know us, and they know our weight struggles. And now they know you now as an average sized woman. So what does that look like? What does that feel like for Pam in the body shape and the body weight that you now embody? Pam, y'all, she'll be back. She'll be back. She's back. Pam, did you hear that question? Or you want me to give you a little bit of that?
Yeah, and I saw. So it's weird. I'm sorry. I'm in the car, and the Wi-Fi is just so glitchy. So I'm in back up. First, the car, the phone overheated, so I had to restart my phone. So hopefully it'll hang in there. Um, so yeah, so I've been on maintenance for a year and a half, and I keep my maintenance range between like 144. I've never really stayed around 144 for very long. Um, so I normally stay about 147, and I will go as high as about 153. But typically, my average is typically 150 or down to 148 or 147. So it's weird. Like I deal a lot with leg swelling. I have lymphedema and lipedema. And if I'm sitting too much, or I'm not using my compression leggings, or not using the vibration plate,
Pam, we don't have a good connection. We do not have a good audio on you. So I don't know if you might be able to go down the road a bit and find a safe location to try to connect with us again. Um, because there's so many who want to talk with you and hear your story. So be safe, be safe. And we've got plenty of time to talk with you. We'll see you in just a second. Gemini Diva. So questions coming in. And let's take a moment and let's welcome in some of our guests. Beautiful I Am Colored, welcome. Thank you for coming. We want to welcome in Life of Vivi, who is also on a weight loss journey, as is Beautiful I Am Colored. Thank you, creators. And here's one of our own, Doses of Shani. She is a regular panelist. And friends, later on during this stream, I will share with you how you can join us to share your weight loss story.
Right.
Yes, we want to welcome the low carb queen. Welcome, Kim. Thank you for being here with us. We all appreciate everyone joining us. Metabolic midwife Barb, who was a guest panelist just last week. Check out episode 9. This is our 10th episode of the GLP-1
Right.
Real Talk Live. And we are the collective, just sharing our stories, our individual stories. And they're also different, so varied. We're all on different medications at different stages of our weight loss journeys. But Metabolic Midwife asks you, Gemini, what was your A1C to start before you started Ozempic, if you can recall, and versus what is it now?
When I first started, my A1C was at a 17.8, which was extremely high.
Oh my goodness.
They said it was stroke level high.
Yeah.
You know, right now it's at a 5.7.
Oh, good. So you're
I went
almost
all the
there.
way, I got all the way down to a
Congratulations.
5.7.
Congratulations.
There's just a little tweaks here and there, but
Yeah.
it goes a long way.
Now, you talked about all the doctors. You just shared with us all the different doctors that work with you and help you to make informed decisions. Do you work with a dietitian or a nutritionist?
I do.
Okay.
I just seen the dietitian on I see her via Zoom.
Okay.
And I ain't seen her last on the 9th. I got another class with her on this coming Friday on the 22nd.
Okay. Are those
And
individual appointments or group appointments?
they're either or. Some can be group, some can be just individuals. She gives me a lot of handouts. Basically saying that, about the sugar content, which I really don't eat a lot of sugar anyway. It's more the protein that I have to get in. So that's all that is.
So I'm glad to hear you talk about the protein, because protein, y'all, I am again new to this journey. This is the start of my 12th week, but only injection number 9. And the question was asked through the chat, and I showed it earlier with why have I only had 9 injections? Because life happened.
Mm-hmm.
I work off of the West Coast. I've got a son in college in the South. And so he decided to live with me this year. And so that totally changed my situation. And 100% of the time, I'm going to choose him. And so with that, I'm flying back and forth, right? Back and forth. Because our world is real strange now. Our
Yes,
country
it
is strange. Y'all, I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. But so I think it was like even my week 3 dose I missed because I knew I had to go to the West Coast and work in person. I work remote from home 90% of the time anyway. But I knew I had that trip planned, and all the week I was binge watching my favorite GLP-1 creators, especially those who were traveling on cruises or vacations and things, and how they were handling it. And I kept waffling, okay, do I take it a day early, my injection, or take the injection with me? Because I found that the Zepbound is shelf stable, and it, to preserve it, you should refrigerate it, but it's okay to be room temperature as well. And so I don't know, life happens. Went to the airport, and it wasn't until I was seated at the gate, and I think they were calling for my boarding group at the gate when I realized I forgot my injection. And so I know who I called. I called Low Carb Queen. I was texting her once I boarded the flight, and I said, oh my goodness, I forgot my injection. And she was like, don't worry about it. The medicine is still in your body. And thank you. Thank you, Low Carb Queen, because I was about to lose it. I was already losing weight, and I felt like I was on a good path. And then I goofed and left the medication at home. And then, y'all, many don't know this, but I was in a horrific accident at the beginning of April. And me and my brother both. I was hospitalized because of that. Y'all, life happens. And so when I talk about, and that affects your body. And I was on muscle relaxers and so much pain medication. And, when you're already taking narcotic drugs, I just didn't want to add anything to the mix of that. I just did not.
Right.
Yeah, I'm still recovering from all of that. And yeah, so when I tell you life has happened and life has, so I won't even go into the week 3, the third time when I missed an injection, but it wasn't because I didn't have the injections. It's just because life was happening. And I traveled again and took my injection, but then that trip got extended. So when it got to the second week and I needed a second injection, I didn't have it. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Right. Y'all, but it happens. It happens. And so I say that because I want viewers to know that many times as you are watching folks' weight loss story, all we hear is just the weight coming off, the weight coming off, the weight coming off, the weight coming off. But my road in 12 weeks has been extremely bumpy. Okay. It has been extremely bumpy as in terms of my weight loss. And thank you, Mrs. G, your favorite auntie. I think we've all mentioned this a little bit. Pam, you said it before that, you know, it wasn't until you had lost 60 pounds where people began to acknowledge your weight loss. And
Right.
I wonder what that's about, right? Because at 60 pounds, because even at 20 pounds, my clothes now look very sloppy, right? Yeah, you know, I'm like trying to put everything in the dryer on high heat to try to shrink it a little bit, you know. I wonder what that is about, where folks, and even kind of sometimes your the friends who are supposed to be your ride or die friends that know you the most, that love you the most, family too. Why is it that sometimes they are the ones that are least likely to acknowledge how hard it is, even on the GLP-1, to lose the weight? Go ahead, Pam.
So I will tell you, now some people I worked with, my fellow coworkers, and can you guys hear me okay? Okay, we're
Yes.
good. All right. They were like, "Oh, Pam, you're looking so good." And they would see what I was eating at lunchtime and see me walking during my breaks and during my lunch. And I would go to meetings and I'd bring my food and they were like, "Oh, okay. And you're eating whole foods." And they saw the changes. So it wasn't just about, in injections. It was like, I am, trying to do the whole picture, right? And I want to just make this an end all because I've been on so many diets in my life. I'm 56 and a half. And I've, not only did I have surgery, but I've done Nutrisystem. I've lost 75 pounds on Nutrisystem and I was younger. So that's all I needed to lose at the time. And, Weight Watchers and all the things. You listen to Barb and she mentions diets that I totally forgot about, like the Richard Simmons and the Dillamil cards.
Oh
So
my goodness. Yes. Yes.
I totally forgot about that one until she mentioned it. And yeah, so I won't even go into all of them, but it from the time that I was a teenager, there was one year that I was trying out to be a cheerleader in junior high, and I asked my mom to help me because I was like the chunkier one. I had like the tummy, and it wasn't like I was too big, but I was at the end of like I couldn't go to stores like Miller's Outpost and have an easy time to find clothes. I was probably like a size 14 juniors, I guess you'd say, and so I had, we normally shopped at Kmart was like our store, and right.
Y'all drop in the
Kmart.
chat if you know about Kmart and the layaway with Kmart.
The layaway program and the blue light specials. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
And
yes.
the ham sandwiches on the checkout.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So yeah. And so I was a little, I remember wearing a size 7 pants in 6th grade. And then probably 8th grade, I was probably a size 12 and 14. And I was lucky if I was a 12. So when I started my freshman year in high school, I went on like a very low calorie diet. My husband, we were dating at the end of my freshman year, and he said, "You're a cheap date," because all I would ask for is a diet 7-Up. And maybe I'd eat a little bit here and there, but I would kind of squeeze into a 10 at that point. But I feel like some people will say some things to you like, hey, you're looking good. And other they might be afraid. They might be afraid, like they don't want to say, oh, you were fat, or oh, you looked bad. Like kind of like, oh, you look pretty today.
Right.
And it's hard to like say that without saying you didn't look pretty yesterday or you didn't look cute yesterday. But the other thing I would say is I didn't get a lot of comments from several of my family members. And I kind of felt like, because I had been on this road so many times, and so many times I would maybe lose 25 pounds, and then it would, come back. And after about 2 months, you kind of give up on things. And so I kind of felt like in my head, they didn't say it, but I felt like they may needed to, it's like, I want to prove a point. I needed to prove it to
Right.
them to show that it's going to stick this time, So there's that
Mhm.
too, because when you're this age and you've done it many times, you have dealt with that kind of thing, and your family members have to feel kind of disappointed when they see you and they're like, oh man, like, yeah, we're not going to have good food in the house because mom's on a diet. And then but then they later on feel kind of bad because it's like, oh, mom's suffering, and grandma's suffering. And yeah, so I kind of feel like the comments kind of like went for different reasons.
Yeah.
And then again, when you're 300, a lot of times you don't see a lot of the differences. Like it's very little. So that could be
Right.
another reason too. Yeah. So I would say on the comment end, and I was trying to remember but we were talking about maintenance earlier, and it took me 2 years to lose 165 pounds in total, like including from the time that I was in the hospital with my husband, with my grandson, to starting 8 months later. I started the Mounjaro in August 1st, 2023. So yeah, so I don't, if I missed a question, let me know.
Okay. Okay. And I want to make sure that during this episode of the GLP-1 Real Talk Live Collective, I want to make sure that you talk to us about the Daily 50, because it's a wonderful
Oh,
way for you to tone your body. And I love the fact that you do it in the home. So make sure that, let's put a pin there, y'all, so that we can come
okay.
back and can really share that with us. Gemini Diva, would you share with us, what is it like for you as a stroke survivor and a 10-year stroke survivor?
Yes.
How important is it for you to be on this weight loss journey using Mounjaro?
Because a stroke it can be many factors. Mine happened in my cerebellum, which is the nerve that connects the brain to the rest of the body.
Yeah.
So I lost mobility in my right side, and I'm slowly getting all that back. So to be able to walk again, it also affected my speech, so unable to talk again. It's been really difficult, but the weight loss, you know, I tend to lean on my left side a lot. So that's where the weight loss has to come in. I mean, I don't want to put too much weight on my left side to where I can't use it on my right side that's still weak. So that's where the weight loss has to come in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's throw it. Thank you, Gemini Diva. Thank you for sharing more about your individual, how you're doing this GLP-1 journey. Pam, let's go ahead and no time like the present. Let's go ahead and let you share your daily 50. What does that entail, and how did you come up with that concept as you share your weight loss journey with the world on YouTube?
So I'll tell you. So once I got down to that 145 to 150 mark in maintenance, I noticed how weak I was, because I was one of those that in the beginning, it was little bit slow, but there were months where I would lose 10 pounds. And once I got to 10 milligrams, it was kind of coming off fast. And so I did lose muscle. And so I lost muscle, and I could feel the imbalances trying to walk around and not feeling strong and having a hard time opening up, lids and stuff like that. So my daughter said, "Mom, you need to do some strength training." Her and her best friend, who was a really good a person who works out a lot, and she's like, "Come join my class, or do whatever, do what you got to do to do it. But I think you need to do some strength training." So it's kind of funny. It's like a parent. It's like children listen to your parents, and same thing goes back and forth. You're like,
Right.
"Oh, I know they're right. I know they're right." So, so yeah, I started I started joining different groups because I felt like I would get inspired by other people working out, and so I tried a few different things, and then I started seeing some Instagram posts where people were doing daily 50s, and people who were over the age of, like, say, well, actually they're in their 60s, early 60s, and I thought, wow, this is really good. But I just started researching it and seeing the differences. And then from my past experiences of knowing like what the pain was like, my arthritis in my knees, what to avoid, how to do proper form, how not to overextend. I mean, many years of watching Denise Austin, taught me a lot too. And so I went with that. I thought, you know what, let's keep it simple. I created a poster and hung it in my classroom, and I wrote it down so I remember this is what I got to do. If it was every day or 2 days a week, and I enjoyed it. I thought, you know what, if I do the modifications, I feel like it's easier for me, and it's got to be easier for somebody out there, because I could hear from different communities, different places, that a lot of people are, they're at the beginning of their journey, and a lot of people just don't really like working out. They haven't been working out, and I know what that's like, because I was sedentary. That's how I ended up regaining my weight. Not getting off the couch. Yeah, you'd be surprised how fast you can put on weight. And so I tried it out, and I thought, wow, this is pretty easy. And I tried a couple different things too. Like, well, what if somebody doesn't have certain equipment? And so I love the idea of working out wherever you're at with whatever you have, your own body, and you don't have to go to a gym, because a lot of us don't feel comfortable at a gym. So that's where. So looks like I'm freezing a little bit. So I do have a walking pad. Yeah, none of us, we don't like going to the gym, but you don't want people to see you. I wouldn't go walking in my neighborhood until it was nighttime, because I didn't want people to see me and be like, oh, there's that big lady trying to walk. Because
Right.
like a lot of people, people make fun of you. I wish I would like to like put on and cheer people, but I don't want them to take it the wrong way whenever I do see other people who were like me out there. But so I feel like it's a way to be in privacy of your own home, or your hotel room, or your classroom, or work office, wherever you got to be. You can do these exercises. So that's the part that I like. And my quads are so much stronger now. I walk around the campus, I feel like I've got robo legs. I'm just like, wow, I can power up the hill, I can power up the stairs, and it's so much better. It feels good, and it's like it gives you your own endorphins, a feel good feeling. I'm just like, oh my God, this is incredible. So I love the strength I've rebuilt in my legs, and I'm working on my arms too. So it's just a really good feeling. And it's true, when you work out, just like walking. The weird thing is that I focused on walking, which I think is great and it's underrated, but I do wish I would have incorporated strength training sooner. I will say that.
First of all, I love your daily 50 because you do it in your home. You are teaching folks who had a very sedentary lifestyle, just like you said it. Get up and do something, right? And I think I know that my favorite place to see you do the daily 50 is when you're in your new PJs. She's got a whole PJ collection, y'all. You got to get over there and check out her channel. I love seeing you do your daily 50 in the kitchen. And when I saw you, because I've had a total knee replacement on the left side, and I do not want another. When I saw you on the wall doing those squats from the wall, what do you call those? When you're kind of sitting down doing the squats?
Yes. The wall sits.
The wall sits.
Oh, wow.
That is
Yes.
one of the exercises that I did in physical therapy, 15 weeks of physical therapy following my total knee replacement. When I saw you doing that, I knew I could do it. And I've been doing it. And the way you share those exercises, it makes it so accessible, even to me. Y'all, and y'all, I will share. My doctor brought it to my attention. She said, well, KendyK, you went from a level 3 obesity or class 3 obesity down to a class 2 based on my BMI. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but okay. So thank you, Pam. I love your daily 50. Please continue the daily 50. Because again, another one, in case you're not plugged in with Pam, I want you to be plugged in, and I'm going to show you what her channel looks like in just a moment here. She uses her countertops, which are the perfect height for you to do the resistance training and do all the exercises with. And it doesn't require weights, a purchase of extra weights and things like that. You can, but Pam is using her body as the resistance, and it's great. It's great. You got to get plugged in. Get plugged in with Mounjaro Journey with Pam. Gemini Diva, share, what are you doing? Are you able, because of the diagnosis of congestive heart failure, are you able to do exercise, or how do you and your medical team, how do y'all manage that?
They start off with me just doing the treadmill.
Okay.
They don't want me to do extraneous exercises that work my heart too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone said, slow and steady. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. I went from a walker to a cane. Now I'm not using it. So I'm just doing that.
Look at God. Your testimony.
Right. Like right now, from my house to the dumpster, because I stay in an apartment, the house to the dumpster, I walk that, a couple times a day just to be moving. And then my mid 40-year-old brain keeps forgetting stuff in different rooms.
My 50-year-old brain too. Yes.
I'll go and then I'll be like, okay, I forgot this. And then I'll go get it and I'll come back and be like, okay, now I forgot this. So I'm constantly walking back and forth. So
yeah. I want to take a moment, and y'all, thank you for all those who are in the chat. Thank you for being so engaged with us. And I am sharing as many comments as I can. If you have any questions for either one of us on the GLP-1 Real Talk Live Collective, please go ahead and put those questions in the chat now. When you put a couple of Q's out front and put a question mark at the end, that kind of helps us. Y'all, we are running both streams, vertical and horizontal. So the mobile stream is going. Hello to you folks in the mobile stream. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being plugged in. And thank you to those who are on the horizontal stream. So many folks who are also on a similar weight loss journey as us, taking a GLP-1. If you are taking a GLP-1, or even if you're not, drop in the comments and give us an update so that I can put you up on the board. And with that being said, I want to share what some of these great channel creators, what that you're going to see on their channel. Y'all, this is Mounjaro Journey with Pam. This is Pammy. And y'all, I want you to be able to see her channel handle. It's at Mounjaro Journey with Pam. And friends, if you look in the description box, you will be able to connect with her. All of our links are in the description box. So make sure that you check there. And then once this string processes through, you can catch it on the replay, and you'll be able to write down where you might see my channel picture. You'll see all of our channel pictures there, myself, Gemini Diva, and Mounjaro Journey with Pam. But y'all connect with Mounjaro Journey with Pam and let her know that KendyK sent you, especially over there for the daily 50, y'all. And she does it most days. And she really does. Y'all, if you are interested in being part of the real GLP-1 Real Talk Live panel, it's every Monday night. And friends, go ahead and use the QR code there. Connect with us. I just need a way to contact you so I can give you the details and the link to join with us on the panel. We'd love to have you on the panel so that you can talk about your journey. There is something in every one of us that is helping someone on their weight loss journey. We all show up in the world differently, and to me, it is so important for all of us just to share our own story in our own way, because by doing so, we're able to help someone else. And then, of course, we've got Gemini Diva 79. And not only is she sharing her weight loss journey on her YouTube channel, but y'all, she's an avid reader, having read over 5,000 books. And y'all, she's also a pretty she's much better of a baker than I am. I can make one cake, and it's a 7-up pound cake. But Gemini Diva, what makes her unique about her baking is she does a lot of it because she is a type 2 diabetic with no sugar. And so she recreates recipes in her own way. And they look darn good, is all I can say. They look darn good. So y'all continue to stay with us. And we have so many in the chat. Another one of our regular panelists is Doses of Shani. She is with us tonight through the chat. She's a working lady. She's a busy working RN by profession, and she is joining us in the chat tonight. So there she is, Doses of Shani. But I wanted you all to make sure that you have her channel ID. And again, check the description box for a link at this moment if you want to connect with any of our channels. And y'all, I put out my lifestyle content. Not only am I sharing my weight loss journey, I am sharing with you week to week. And y'all, this was a plant-based protein from week 11 of my GLP-1 weight loss journey, and just some good old pinto beans. And I upped the protein in that with some andouille sausage and some seasoning meat, if you know anything about that in the South. Friends, not only do I do my lifestyle content, my travels, my grocery hauls, my weight loss journey, my GLP-1 weight loss journey on Zepbound, but I also do shop talk for content creators. So if you are a new content creator or a small content creator, anybody with fewer than 500,000 subscribers, you are considered a small content creator. And by the way, we've got Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey is a regular panelist with us for the GLP-1 Collective. And y'all connect with Grant and Christy. Both have a very, very good testimony about their weight loss journey. And y'all, Grant is also a type 2 diabetic, and he has lost over 80 pounds, as you saw on the thumbnail for this week. Super proud of everyone and their journey. Y'all, we even lock in with Lala, the high vibe coach. She has popped up with us on the panel, not because she takes a GLP-1, but because of her emphasis on exercise and raw eating, using raw fruits and vegetables. Y'all, she's my go-to for juicing. She is my go-to for juicing. And I love her positive vibes. And so I wanted to include her as well because she has supported us. And y'all pop over to Lala, the High Vibe Coach Nutrition, because she's got some great downloadable recipes for nutrition. We'll be back here in just a second, y'all. It's me sharing my GLP-1 journey, different hairstyle, but you got me. And thank you to each of you. Thank you all for joining us. And I'm coming right back so that we can talk more talk about our GLP-1 journeys. And so, Pam, what are you doing next? What's coming up next on your channel? Do you have a flow for what things look like on your channel? I know that you're an educator, and I hope everyone else knows that you're an educator. So what do you have planned for us? When can we see you again on your channel? Y'all, we're going to go to about 15 after the hour, but I just want to make sure that folks learn a little bit more about you, Pam, and your journey.
So for now, I'm focusing on trying to do more lives, and the way that I'm going to do that, since I work so much, is that I get a prep period, and it's about around 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 10, 11, 12. So that's about 12 o'clock your guys, Eastern Time, and I want to do my daily 50 during that time, and then a little bit of chat. There's going to be some days where we go for walks during that time, and that's where I like to do during the week. And then on the weekends, probably like every other week, we spend over at the beach, and I like to bring in nature and activities and things that we're doing, like what is life like after weight loss? How are we enjoying life, getting to do fun things, walking on the beach where it would be too hard to have walked before and all that thick sand. And then I do like to do some cooking every once in a while. I'm one of those that I kind of like do a lot of the same repeat meals. And I was smiling when you did the pinto beans, because I love to make a taco meat twice a week, enough, to spread it out. And I like to add pinto beans or garbanzo beans or lentils or, some kind of bean to
black
it.
Beans, yeah.
Yes, and black beans, yes. And when I'm feeling kind of, like really good, I will take some cottage cheese, and I love to have the Good Culture cottage cheese, and I blend it up to make it smooth like a sour cream. And I have a couple different things that I do with it. Sometimes I add ranch dressing to it, a ranch powder, or sometimes I add taco seasoning, and sometimes I'll make it like a guacamole, and I'll add half to a whole avocado and some cilantro. And let me tell you, you cannot tell that it's not sour cream. So I like to do that, and I'll put it on lettuce or protein chips like siete chips that are made that are low carb. And so I like to do that. That's kind of a staple for me. And air fried chicken and things. So I do like to bring in some food every once in a while too. Pack my bag. I'm not real big. I haven't been real big on the pack my bags because I feel like I do the same thing all the time. But I'll add a little bit to the vlogs. And then gardening. My garden is growing. It's time to cut the lettuce, and I'm waiting for the okra to start blooming. They're flowering now. So
and then the flowers drop off, right? And then
and then after the flowers drop, you start getting the vegetable starts to grow. So I'm looking forward to that.
Now, a question for you, Pam, about your gardening. 2 questions.
Yes.
KendyK wants to know. Can you tell that I am locked in with Mounjaro journey with Pam, and so happy that you could join us today. Pam, the gardening. Why do you always garden at night? It's lovely.
No.
But is there something to that?
Not really. I think it's just when I have time. Instability again. So when I got it started, it just happened to be at evening, and I think we had the sundown coming, and so it's just whenever I had time. And then in the morning, there's not a lot of time before going to work, so I like to go out there and film the updates to see how everything's growing. And and on the weekends, a lot of times I'm not at home with the garden, so it's just been timing. But remember, especially when you're in these hot climates, it's best to plant in a month with an R in it. Best to plant in a month with an R. So if you live, I'm in Zone 9. I'm in southern part of Central California, And we don't have big freezes over here except in January. So January is our cold month. But that has an R in it. However, I don't really plant anything. You know, you could do your seedlings in January. But you can plant in February, March, April. And really, you shouldn't plant in May, June, July, August because it's too hot. And you're going to have to keep things in the partial shade, a little bit of sun, and you've got to get them watered because you could probably do it, but it takes a lot of effort. You got to keep them watered, and a lot of times, because in our climate, it can be 110 many days in the summertime. Like we're range from 90 to 110, and we're usually 95 most of the summer months. Yeah. So you have to look at your growing zones to find out what works best for you. But that was a tip to me from a grandma from a long time ago.
Can't go wrong with that.
True.
Can't go
wrong with that. You can plant in the fall. You can do your bulbs, your tubers, all those fall plants, things like that. So there's fall planting. You got to look at like a farmer's almanac or look at growing guides, and you can decide, when it's best to plant certain things.
Yeah, and you're all the way on the West Coast, and so you're going to be going. The fall is the start of the rainy season, so that's the perspective, y'all. I'm in Washington State, as far as work, and so I spent a lot of time in the rain, but the rain is good for growing things too. So we want to talk about someone else in this Vicky's World of Chaos, who is also one of our regular panelists. And y'all, we just pop up on the panel every Monday night, those who can make it, because life is life. And so that's why we invite you to come join us and become a panelist as well. And Vicky does gardening as well. And I know that she's in the Midwest, and I believe it's Iowa, if I'm not mistaken. That's dead in the middle of the map. And she's asking you, Pammy, do you have asparagus? Are you growing asparagus?
No, I have not grown asparagus. I have grown artichokes. I love growing artichokes. In my last home, we grew artichokes, and they are really prolific over here. But I've been thinking about asparagus, but asparagus takes a long time. You have to really prepare your soil, or if it's a raised bed, you got to get a lot of inches to get that plant in there. And I'm kind of a lazy gardener. With a lack of time, I consider myself a lazy gardener. I look for the easy things to plant that will definitely usually be successful, but I do challenge myself every once in a while with a plant here and there. So, but yeah, and I love to grill asparagus, and I will put bacon around my asparagus too.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Reset with CC reminds all of us, isn't it amazing how we are all on the same journey, but everyone has their own personal, unique experience. That's the point. We are not medical providers. We're just sharing our real life stories. They're not always pretty. And yes, we are losing weight. Yes, in Pam's case, she is maintaining that weight loss, toning her body. Pam, I just cannot imagine having lost over 150 pounds. What that must like. Do you feel when you look in the mirror, Pam, what is that like for you? Do you see yourself in what essentially to me is a new body, or do you? Tell me what you feel. Tell me what you see.
Well, let me tell you, and this is not the first time. So just like Barb and I, we've done this before because I lost the most before this time, before my surgery, was 75 pounds. And that was with Nutrisystem. I was about 225, got down to 150. Then I was 310 whenever I had my gastric bypass, and in my early 30s. And so I got down to about 155, 160 that time. And so that time was my first experience of seeing this new body and, navigating the world again. And I will say, I wish I could have taken my 40s back, because that would have been so nice to, experience this in my 40s. But, it is what it is. So I look at I'm looking at myself and I'm enjoying, I'm learning, like, wow, this is so cool. And then whenever I post my pictures where I looked like before, I'm starting to already look at, wow, I don't remember myself looking like that. Like, because I think visually, mentally, you kind of picture yourself differently. The body I am right now is closer to my junior high school kind of a look, sort of, but not. I actually am thinner than I was then. But it kind of reminds me of that, and I feel youthful. I feel younger now in my late 50s than I did in my late 40s or early 40s. And so I do feel like I'm aging backwards. I have energy now.
You are.
And
You are.
yeah, thank you. If I could just age backwards on the face, that would be better. but I had a hernia. I forgot to mention that. I had an abdominal hernia because of my gastric bypass. I had it done when they cut you open instead of laparoscopic, and it created a hernia. It came back after years. And the doctor told me there's no point in you having it fixed until you lose weight because it's just going to come back. And I tried to lose weight and it wasn't working. So I was finally able to get my hernia fixed. And then he gave me the skin removal. He took that lower I forget how you say it exactly. I always say penilectomy, but I think it's like paniculectomy. And I have this V shape in my lower abs, and I'm like, wow. So that's pretty cool. I do like that. I'm like, for the first time in my life, I can wear underwear where I don't have to wear them up to cover my lower tummy, the tummy roll, the inner tube. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, because if I pulled up my underwear, then the fat would be hanging out underneath. And I've wore extra large of Victoria's Secrets, and now I'm in mediums with them. And I'm dealing with other things like,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Dealing with the saggy, pancake stuff. But hey, I will take the sag over it being filled up, inflammation or fat, whatever it is. But yeah, it's wonderful to be in this body, and it's been a year and a half to kind of it's like a whole new discovery. Like, what can I do now? And it's like I would notate all those things because I think it's good for us to remember this feeling of doing something the first time, like walking through a bus without running into everybody in the hallway, getting on the airplane and strapping the seatbelt and having 24 inches left over and not having to ask for an extender. You know what I mean? And going through a turnstile at an amusement park and riding a roller coaster without worrying about your kids flying out because it can't close all the way. There's so many things that's just, and fitting into a booth in a restaurant. I could go on, and that's the part that, the naysayers, I feel like maybe there could be some jealousy, there could be maybe some genuine concern, but they a lot of times will judge you from what you see in your face and not the rest of your body. And finally, I feel happy with the rest of my body. Like, I finally have, I feel like I'm at the right size. You know what I mean? And and I feel good, and my doctors are happy, and that's the most important. My labs, my health, and what my medical team says.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Gemini Diva, share with us some of your goals. You are still in the losing weight part of this journey, as am I. I'm just starting my journey. But tell us what some of your immediate goals are for your weight loss journey.
My immediate goals are to just continue to lose weight, just continue to be happy with myself. Forget what everybody else think. I just want to be happy with myself.
Yes.
Long-term goals is, I just want to get off this diabetes medication. I'm truly over it already. That's all. I just want to be just happy with myself.
Yes.
And that's all I can do.
I agree with you, Gemini Diva. At 50, and I am 50 years old, if you have a problem with KendyK, have a
You still have a problem.
Have a problem, because I'm out here living my best life. And I am losing weight for me and
right.
so that me and my son can make more memories, and me and my mama can make more memories. And I want to do that without being in pain because of the inflammation, without being out of breath. The next time when I go back to Greece, well, I'm not going back to Greece because I'm going to Italy. When I go to Italy and I walk those cobblestone streets, I want to do so with confidence, and I want to do another photo shoot, different from what I did in Greece, but I want to just look amazing. And but anyway, I looked amazing in Greece in the flying dress photo shoot. But yeah, I'm just being fun, but I do mean those things. This is us.
Right.
This is us, and this is our journey. It may not be your journey, but it's our journey. And if you don't want to be a part of that journey, that's good. But thank you for rocking and riding with us as we talk a little bit more about our journeys and share those parts of us, because hopefully there's something in each one of us that might help you as you go on your weight loss journey, or perhaps you're even thinking about using a GLP-1 for medical weight loss. And let me just ask each one of you really fast, again, starting with Pam and then Gemini Diva. All that has happened, the ups and the downs, the good things, the things that you're like, oh my goodness, what is going on here? Would you still use a GLP-1 for medical guided weight loss? Pam?
Oh, heck yeah, 100%. And I would definitely choose Mounjaro all over again, or if it was Zepbound or any tirzepatide, right? I do feel like that has been the best for me. And I have to say, I'm going to take on the philosophy of Life of Vivi and say, walk on by. If you don't like our journey and you don't want, if you don't like what we have to say, walk on by. My channel's not for you.
Yeah, you gotta check out Life of Vivi, because she is gonna let you know. In her New Orleans drawl, she is gonna let you know. Okay. She said, now this channel isn't for everybody. Okay. And she gives her a clear disclaimer, but y'all, she shows up. She keeps showing up, and she check her out, her channel, because she was on a branded GLP-1 and has now, if I'm not mistaken, has moved over to a compounded situation because of, I believe, cost. So y'all check her out. Let her know that KendyK and Pammy sent you. Gemini Diva, would you continue? Are you going to continue your GLP-1 weight loss journey?
Yes, I am. Mainly because, it's helping my health. Yes. It's not hindering it. And
yes,
I'm with Life with Vivi. Just walk on by. Just, if you don't like it, keep moving. It ain't for you. It's for me. So yes, I will continue to do it.
Yeah. And y'all, my insurance, my network, I'm not even gonna say the name of the insurance, but it is one of the big ones. But it's the network, right? It's the employer's network that you're in, and does not cover my Zepbound. And so I am paying out of pocket, but I am able to get reimbursed using my SFA funds, my FSA funds. But I am paying monthly for my monthly dosage of Zepbound. And y'all, by the way, I'm on my 2.5 milligram dose in week 12. But asking myself that same question, with all that is going on, with the cost, with the out-of-pocket cost for me, and it's significant. You feel that, right? What am I going to continue this journey? Absolutely. No question about it. No hesitation. Absolutely. I want more of this. I want to continue to lose weight, and I want to continue to reclaim my health as I lose the weight. That's the most important thing for me. I want to take a moment and let me just pop up Vicky's World of Chaos. She is one of our regular panelists. And, Y'all, so many folks have been in this chat, and I want to thank everyone who is joining us, building a legacy farm. Thank you for being here. There's that lady life of Vivi. She says, our health is a battle every day. We must continue to keep right on fighting. I love that.
Right.
I love that. What's up to you? Thank you for being here. To Unique, thank you for being with us. And ladies of TikTok, thank you for joining us as well. Low Carb Queen, it says she remembers Kmart and those Richard Simmons cards. I remember that too. Pam, you took us way back today during our conversations as GLP-1 users. You really took us back, letting you know, y'all, that we're real grown over here. And so again, we invite you to join the panel. Hey there, Nicole Ray, GLP-1. Nicole has had some medical issues as well, y'all. It's part of the journey. It's part of the journey, but you are sharing that so transparently, Nicole Ray. Thank you for joining us for this edition of GLP-1 Real Talk Live. And thank you, Mrs. G. You've been in here with us the entirety of this stream, and I appreciate you. Mrs. G says, I've always struggled with weight. Thankfully, Mrs. G has lost 50 pounds since 2024 because it says that, oh, you've lost 2 sisters within 4 months. You have our condolences and you are in our prayers. I was not aware of that, Mrs. G. Thank you for sharing that. You will be in my prayers for sure. And again, that's what makes taking drastic steps, like taking a GLP-1, a priority for me, because I want to be here. I want to be here. You know, you go to college, you work, and I want to enjoy the fruits of my labor, right? I have fewer work years in front of me than are already behind me. And so I'm ready to see the world. I'm ready to do so many things. When I see you, Pam, out there hiking the trails of California, when I see you out there on the beach line, oh my gosh. It is just amazing. Gemini Diva, you keep getting on that trail mill. You keep showing up. Keep showing up with us on the GLP-1 Real Talk Live panel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your stories. You ladies are beautiful. And Metabolic Midwife, thank you for joining us last week. Thank you for being here with us. Everybody's talking about that Kmart layaway. Wow.
Best way out there. It was yes.
In this economy, it may be coming back. Who knows? It may be returning. Who really knows? Even beautiful I Am Colored, Evelyn, living in Colorado, beautiful Colorado, very scenic there as well, says, yep, good old Kmart. Check. Yes. Y'all, thank you all for joining us. This has been a great conversation. Y'all continue to join us for the GLP-1 Real Talk Live panel. And here again is Mounjaro Journey with Pam. If you want the link, go ahead and look in the description box. It's go about halfway down and you'll see all of our direct links so that you can connect with us. Mounjaro Journey with Pam. And truly, Pam, you have gone through one heck of a transformation. Y'all, we want to shout out Mary's Life Journey. She's not with us tonight, but she is a regular panelist as well, sharing her journey and even really being transparent about the financials. She too is on a compounded GLP-1 and is paying out of pocket as well. And so is Doses of Shani. We want to even shout out the Boss Way. Thank you for being you in the YouTube streets. She is such a great supporter, has been on the panel and is often in our chats. And so, y'all, I just wanted to share some of these great folks who are choosing to share their weight loss journeys. And if you are interested, please go ahead and sign up. I'll give you more information and it's yours, y'all. You don't have to show up every week. Just show up. Just show up and share your journey, especially if you are a content creator. We would love for you to join us when you can and for as long as you can. And friends, with that, I'm going to leave this. Vicky's World, one of our regular panelists, she says she still has some of those Richard Simmons videos. Well, y'all, I'm not really watching Richard Simmons. It's for me, it's Mounjaro, Journey with Pam, and her Daily 50. 10 out of 10. KendyK highly recommends it. And friends, also, it's Lala, the high vibe coach, plant-based nutrition. Y'all, I'm going to let Pam, Gemini Diva, you go first, and then we'll give Pam the last word for today. Thank y'all for being with us. Go ahead, Gemini Diva. Give us your last words for today.
Okay. For today, just do it for yourself. Don't do it for anybody else. It's just too much. Not everything is going to be instant. Just let it be gradually, and you will feel more and more comfortable and confident about yourself.
Yes, I agree. I echo that. Go ahead, Pam.
Yeah, and I think it's great to be part of a community. I think one of the things that were missing from my previous journey after surgery was our support groups had stopped. And I think coming into our different communities, that is a support group. You can come in and ask questions. You can get advice, aside from your medical provider, but keep on coming in, visit all the different channels. A lot of us, have been all connected because of channels, and I think it's great. We get to know each other in the chats. Like where else can you connect with so many people over in the UK, over in Canada, all the states? It's incredible that people that we can reach in YouTube. And Round Mountain Zepbound Charles, he put out a great video, I think it was today, about some new research and all the benefits of GLP-1. And I think that's the thing that I would really like to get out there is the other factors, like the other health things. You don't have to use it for weight loss, and it's not always considered a weight loss drug. It's the blood sugar maintenance, the inflammation, and
Right.
and one lady was self-medicating for lupus symptoms. So getting that research out, fighting for ability for people to attain this type of tool, be access. We need more access. I know it's still kind of a wild west, like Charles says, but we got to keep it going. Keep it going.
Yes, absolutely. And there's Round Mound of Zepbound. Thank you for letting me know there's another fellow Zepbound user, and from a male perspective as well, but sharing so much good information. Y'all, there's a wealth of information out here. And again, we are not medical providers. We are simply sharing our experiences, the ups, the downs, and the wins. Y'all, I'm enjoying the Quest brand of 30-gram protein shakes. My favorite flavor is vanilla, but they have a new coffee flavor as well. And y'all, I'm trying not to drink as much coffee, but I was drinking coffee tonight because y'all, I've had a full work day today. Y'all, coffee too, Pam. Pam loves coffee. A fellow coffee lover. I love that coffee cup. I love that.
Just water.
Yeah.
Just water.
Just water.
I'm always double-fisted, water and coffee.
Look at that. Y'all hold up your water vessel again. Love that.
Okay, water. Here we go. Mickey.
Come on, Gemini Deva. Yes, water. Hydrated. Y'all stay hydrated. It helps everything. It helps digestion. It helps everything. Yeah, I'm going to play some music and we are out of here. And thank y'all for joining us. See you back here on Monday. Y'all make good, healthy choices, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Celebration across the nation for the locked-in patrons. It's a graduation celebration across the nation for the locked-in patrons. On this day, we want to say Congratulations on your graduation. Y'all stayed on the grind, now you're in the big time. It takes a lot of work to get money.